We are doing the Deep Dwarf Assassin of Makhleb, of course. What else would I pick? And this is it's game number 20 in the Elliptic Streak, actually. We're moving on up in the world. Still several games to go. 43 in the streak, so we're not even halfway done, depending on how you want to measure. Nonetheless, we're moving along. This is an easy game. We'll probably finish it tonight. I can pretty much tab the rest of the game, to be honest, as long as I don't make any particularly stupid mistakes. We're almost immune to ancient liches, even with our MRs, so you know, once that happens, I can tab forever, for the most part. Then after this, we're going to have to play a FoSk and probably lose the whole streak. I mean, I don't want to be negative, but that is one of the danger combos that's remaining. Although really almost every combo that's not a Minotaur or a Deep Dwarf or something is going to be dangerous. Tab to win, I'm trying. I think we have a rune already. Yeah, we have the Gossamer rune. I went and nabbed this broadaxe from Vaults last time and then branded it. So now we have broadaxe and large shield, which is really what you want. Don't tab into 3 Iron Giants. What's easier to win, DD5 Makhleb or MiBe? Depends what you mean by easy. I would say DDFi, but if you're like a novice player, the MiBe's probably easier to win. If you are an experienced player, the DDFi is by far much stronger. And the reason I say that is because the DDFi can heal himself essentially infinitely. Although I would pick DDAr rather than DDFi. Hello. 0% chance to banish, alright. Anyway, the self heal is pretty huge. Let's just swing on her and try not to die to lightning bolt. I used file to sort of clean that up faster. DDFi is best played as a tank that heals itself, pretty much. I mean, the reason DD is so strong in the early game is the fact that you have this sort of guaranteed resource that nobody else gets in the form of your healing, your self-heal. So, I mean, yeah, all DDs should be played as melee, except for maybe DD Necromancer. Oh my god, I hate this crap. Okay. It managed to blow gas at me in the exact right spots that forced me to use a blink scroll. A self-heal. I need to kill this Catoblepus. My god, dude. There we go, finally it's dead. Didn't need to fight this whole pack at once. Whoa! That is a Berserked Polyphemus, that's no joke. He just happened to have a potion. We're going to overheal his attacks as we teleport. He's as strong as a stone giant, stronger really, so treat him as a real serious threat even when he's not berserked, you know. I just died and I don't know what happened. Oh hey, it's ToneHack. What's up, ToneHack? I just noticed you chatting there. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a pretty straightforward game, DDFi is definitely the path. I mean, one of the reasons I like it the most, and this is something that kind of falls under the radar in my opinion, is the fact that they, in addition to all the other hilariously strong things they can do, they have really good MR progression, so you only need one item with MR plus on it throughout the entire game, and then once you hit 27, you'll be immune to all the pertinent MR threats. ToneHack is a very well-known roguelikes streamer. You should check out his channel. I still haven't added a shout-out command to my bot, or else I would do that. My buddy WaifuGate has something like that where he just types like shout-out and then the person's account, and it kind of links you over to their channel. But I trust that you guys know how to click the name yourselves until I add that. Hey Asimov, what's up, man? But yeah, Tone, you've caught me kind of in a very easy game in this streak. I'm copying the longest streak of all time. I don't know if you've seen any of this, but I'm just like doing the exact same combos that Elliptic did in his 43 win long streak. And this one happens to be easy, although it's definitely not been the case for all of them. It's a fun little Greek mythology inspired vault here. Pretty sure it's meant to be based on Perseus. There's going to be a shield of reflection here and a bunch of stuff that can petrify you. Now we have a large shield already, and this is where you really shouldn't let yourself fall prey to memes, because a +0 shield of reflection is of course not as good as a +0 large shield. You want more SH, you don't really care about reflecting things. Polyphemus is from Odysseus, very nice. I see you too are a lettered man. Let's get off the water. Are those encounters guaranteed in shoals? Nope. I think Ilsui, the merfolk and her pack, are guaranteed. Other than that, no. None of that stuff is guaranteed. Although, I mean, this is the only place that Polyphemus can spawn. And this is the only place that vault can spawn. To kind of fit with the theme. But it's not guaranteed to spawn. STG, I don't know how that could even happen. It's a really bizarre bug, but you said you play single player, right? So, or like offline, I don't know why I said single player. In the offline, the SDL version of the game, I guess I have heard of some weird glitches like that. Yeah, Tone, I think they're probably the vault list for shoals is not huge, so it wouldn't surprise me if you get them pretty commonly. Well, I mean, it's too, there's actually a lot of differences in the code STG because there's the way that's rendered. You know, the offline mode actually uses SDL, if you know what that is, I think. And, well, normally I wouldn't fight all this stuff. Actually, let's not be stupid. Let's pull this stuff up. But yeah, the online version uses this sort of abomination of this thing called Tornado.js to actually send everything to your screen. So like, because I'm a deep dwarf, I can just kind of heal myself in these fights, and like ordinarily I would never come down this staircase again seeing all this crap, but my dude is just so defensive. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna pop this Amulet of Rage and just start wrecking face here. There's nothing that can push me off the staircase. So if the berserk starts to end, actually let's just go up now. Obviously we don't want to be paralyzed. Yeah, stair dancing is in fact overpowered in DCSS. But at the same time it's also kind of the core of the game. You know, it's like the core game loop, so to speak. So there are a lot of forks that have tried to take it out. And I just don't I don't know, I think they're kind of missing the point. Like you have to at one point you have to ask yourself, well, what is DCSS, you know? And I don't know if you can have DCSS without the concept of resetting fights, you know? And that's all stair dancing really is it's a pretty common way of resetting fights over and over. Wow, hey, it happened again. This is not, this never got bug fixed, patched. I just got avatar songed at 0%. Thanks, game. That's the bug that Doesn'tHe got yelled at for pointing out in the Discord. I don't know exactly why that thing is wandering off into unhittable territory, but whatever. Seems particularly good in DCSS due to how combat and monster generation works. Yeah, I mean, I played some Tome, and it didn't seem like anything like that really existed there. Definitely DCSS is sort of built around it. Oops, let's not get dream sheeped. At least not yet. Pull these guys up. Again, perhaps ordinarily I wouldn't have even come back down the staircase again, but if I got put to sleep, it wouldn't be the end of the world, see? I actually got put to sleep there. Now we can just keep tabbing. This combo really is just like a nice rest. After that Octopode Fire Elementalist, I think I deserve it. Tone, I forget, what was your first win? Was it Minotaur or something? Tone here won his first game of DCSS. Like literally the first one he ever tried. The classic NaBe. There you go. I guess playing a lot of NetHack prepares you well. Oh, there's Elsui. Let's not fight all these water elementals. Let's come back down a different staircase. Oh, we get put to sleep immediately. I'm gonna try to go up. Okay, that staircase sucks. Let's go back down this one. Got a little message here. How's the streak going? Pretty well. This is game number 20. I'm streaming at twitch.tv. OgNe Gaming if you'd care to join. Well, TeCj, he was streaming, so he had some help from the chat, and he's also dumped tons of hours, I assume, into other roguelikes. So, I mean, that's like you're gonna have a head start, I think, if you don't have any experience with you know, against someone who like doesn't have experience with roguelikes. You know what I mean? Also, he was playing really slowly, which is something that's like the #1 mistake I think that most people make, is that they play too fast when they start out, and they don't realize how quickly DCSS can kill you if you don't understand what things do. So, I mean, simply taking the time to look things up is just so crucial, and the fact that he did that, I think, was probably the #1 thing in his favor for winning his first game. You didn't hit O or tab even once? Wow. I don't know if I could handle a game like that. I mean, I could, but I might die of frustration in real life. I mean, you'll notice that I'm both pressing O and tab. Although I tend to build my characters in such a way that they're, you know, they can survive. By the way, chat spam Kappa. Yes, I usually stream. Get put to sleep, don't care. Alright, this guy's, I don't want to have to keep opening this window, so he's just going to have to come to Twitch so I can talk to him and answer his questions there. Game must have taken like 20 years. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was 20 hours. Is that accurate, or are you just guessing? I mean, that's still pretty good, man. I mean, that's not even, 20 hours is not even out of the ordinary for your sort of slower players to do 15 runes, you know? I probably have games approaching that. So, I mean, for your first win, I don't know, man. I feel like you almost have to take that long if you want to win your very first game. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've played games where I don't press O at all, where I'm you know, playing like a turn count speed run. And at that point, like, the Auto Explorer is so bad for your turn count that you really cannot press it at all if you're trying to go for like a world record or anything like that. Spend a lot of time reading in-game info. Also, streaming is slower. It can be. I mean, if you're like, I don't know, some of these guys who stream just sort of play like madmen and kind of ignore the chat. But I don't know. I have found that I really enjoy streaming in terms of, well, for a lot of reasons, but one of them is I play better when I'm streaming, you know, because it does force you to slow down a little bit, and you have that sort of motivation not to screw up because there are people watching, for one. But, you know, normally I do play a little faster, but I still think I don't know, I think I play a decent speed. Dinas doesn't ignore the chat, he ignores the game. No, I was referring to Demise in terms of playing absurdly, suicidally quickly. Let's berserk. You should come to the Twitch if you'd like me to answer your questions, so I don't have to pay attention to the chat here too. That 160 word per minute typing speed really comes in handy. Hey, User Protection, how you doing, man? He's here. Are you just doing random backgrounds classes for the streak, or what's your method? I am doing the same combos that the dev Elliptic did. I'm literally copying every combo he did, and he's got the current world record in terms of you know, longest win streak. So I'm just doing those same combos. Hey Tyrone, hey Mr. Alstrom, how you doing, man? What do I do for game 44? Yeah, this someone asked me that last time. I don't remember who, but the short answer is I haven't thought about it that much. I might let chat decide. I might do a bunch of Artificers as streak extenders to prove once and for all that Artificer is the best background. This isn't so good. There we go. Mumo for game 45. It's actually not just Mumo, it's the Mumo challenge. Guaranteed to lose the streak. Yeah, so Tonehack, the number one thing in this game that's the most frustrating is the fact that the early game can be so it can be a real crapshoot, let me put it that way. And you know, the Artificer starts with 3 different wands. He has some evocations training, he has a dagger, and he has 3 wands. Enslave, random effects, and flame wand. None of those are supremely like overpowered or anything throughout the entire game, except I guess maybe Enslave, but all of them are really, really good in the early game. And if you were to get shafted or something, like I take a step on D1, I get shafted to D3, many characters will just kind of die from that, depending on what they find. If you find like a, I don't know, like a centaur on D2, a lot of characters will just die. If you run into like an adder on D1, a lot of characters, depending on your positioning, have a good chance of dying. Whereas like an artificer can just use his wands, which, while, like I said, they're not really overpowered throughout the entire game, but they are really strong in the very beginning. He can use those as sort of get out of jail free cards against anything that could, you know, steamroll him. And then he can just use good tactics against all the other stuff to win, you know, with a simple short sword or a dagger or whatever the hell they start with. You know, and basically it adds up to like a very consistent early game, which is why I think Artificer is the best. Like I'm convinced that I could endlessly streak Artificers, like 100% win rate no matter what the game threw at me. Anyway, we just got a rune. We have 2 runes now. Still no R-Core available. We do have some resistance, so if I really wanted to do slime, I suppose I could. I guess I'm not quite immune to Confusion Gaze, but the Great Orb of Eyes cannot paralyze me. Does DD get decreased damage from Smite? DD gets decreased damage from everything, including Smite. But it's not, I wouldn't rely too much on the damage shaving. Probably shouldn't have Zerked here. Zerking in the middle of vaults is generally not considered a great strategy. Okay, this guy cannot paralyze me anymore. I have enough MR. Let's try to take out this Earth Mage. Don't want to get LRD'd anymore, and plus he's mited. There we go. See, Makhleb gives me such sustain powers over this stuff, where I just heal throughout the fight. It's amazing. Even if I wasn't a Deep Dwarf, you know, if I had these defenses and power of Makhleb at my side, it's kind of hard to lose. Cleared most of the floor at this point. I guess I'm okay with berserking. We're berserking with the Amulet of Rage, by the way. It's one of the best items in the game. Kind of stupid that I'm using it at this point because it's just an unnecessary risk, but kind of speeds things up a bit. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to put it, Tone. And the other thing is, like, it also reminds me of Ziggurats in this game, where, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with how that works, but it's like it's a piece of post-game content where you run through this 27-floor sort of special portal vault that increasingly has more and more dudes as you go through the floors. And every time you finish one, you get a figurine that lets you go to another one. Only that one will have even more dudes in it. So it kind of gets increasingly full until you are fighting off this sort of absurd, every single tile is filled with the hardest monsters in the game kind of challenge. And so it very much becomes a game of minimizing low probability death scenarios, you know, which is interesting. I am turning off some of the crappier wands in terms of picking them up. Okay, we'll drop Descent too. There we go. 192 streaks. Well, that certainly would beat the hell out of the record. Going right up to these boggarts, ruining their day. Oh, 192 zigs. Is that what Pig in a Bag did? What was his record? Was that it? I didn't do that many. I did like 15 just to do a showcase on YouTube, and then I ascended that character. Anyway, we're just kind of pounding through a little bit of vaults for experience. As we decide what to do next. Okay, what's up, Boris? I'm going to put a Lamp of Fire on his head. He's resistant. Actually, no, he's not resistant to fire. This is perfect. Is Bogart that thing? What, find your very scared enemy? I don't know. You're gonna have to try harder on the English there, man. I'm not following what this sentence means. If you're asking me if I'm scared of Bogarts, the answer is kind of. I mean, they can summon a lot of really ugly things, depending on what branch you're in. Wait, I want this Ring of Ice still for a swap. Let's put the Acrobat back on. I mean, they could summon like Ancient Liches here if they were so inclined. They're especially bad in depths because they can bring Caustic Shrike packs. Okay, I should be careful here. This is a bunch of high-level elves, so we'll lamp. Something like, I don't know, 115 damage possible from these Annihilators. Wow, and a Sorcerer. We'll let my Water Elementals handle him. You know what? I am going to use an Acid here. Just because I wasn't sure exactly how many high-level elves were in that area, and every single one of them can do like 100 damage to me. Like every one of the Annihilators. And the Sorcerers can do 60. Also, what am I doing? I should pop on Ring of Ice. Or that thing can do 75 to me. Hate having to swap. I really hope that we find some resistance soon that I can have on all the time. Yeah, I'd probably wear the Arlec STG because you get higher AC with the chainmail too, higher GDR. Our poison Arlec will mean that, well, any of the S branches are really well open to you at that point, even Snake. Cold, you'll find, is not really that important as a resistance. I mean, it's nice to have, but it's like it's one of the few that you can kind of bypass and not feel too much pain from doing so. Yeah, Ninja Joe. I just kind of decided I hadn't streamed today and had this Deep Dwarf Assassin lying around, so might as well finish it, you know? It's not like it's a particularly difficult combo, so... You know. I'll see it through. Let's decide what we're going to do. I'm going to check out this scarf, actually. This was in one of those goofy-ass vaults. Transporter vaults. How's the DD going? Well, it's a DD. It's strong, I'll say that much. I don't care if I get berserked. I will absolutely slaughter this stuff if I get berserked. Actually, in fact, I'm going to berserk myself. Pretty sure the ghost was just melee. Probably should have checked on that, I guess. Oh no. Ooh. We're going to take the portal. Because that, I didn't want to get passed out next to a thing that can lightning bolt me. Indeed, better safe than sorry. That is true. Well, I just really don't want to be I don't want to be double zapped here, so we're going to go into a spot where if he hits me with lightning bolt, it hits him too. And he's not our leg, so he's not about to do that. Sort of abusing the AI there. Right, that is a Spirit Shield scarf. It is not a resistance scarf, so it's not even an interesting choice. In fact, Spirit Shield doesn't even work for Deep Dwarves, so that's a shame. But I had to try it. But since we're out and about, I had already gone into this portal, this transporter. I didn't kill anything. I just sort of rolled up in here and took the loot, but I might as well just take this out now. Because there is a little bit of gold here, and we're powerful enough to do it safely. I'm crazy, I would double zap. Well, the ghost didn't want to die for a second time, I guess. Alright, let's head into Orc. I'm going to pick up this, well, not the Identify. I will take MO. I will take Might. Both of those are very nice to have. Probably leave the rest of this stuff. You know what? I'm going to try the Ring too. Could be RF+. It's a +4 of Slaying. That's cool, I guess. I suppose I'll wear that over See Invisible when I'm in places where invisible things can't be. Do I play other games? Sure, absolutely, just like not lately. I mean, I try not to play video games at all unless I'm streaming these days, so I don't know. I have interest in a lot of different stuff though, so if anybody wanted me to play a particular game on stream, I'd be happy to. I do have some stuff on my YouTube, like a lot of old, I don't know, I'm really partial to these kind of ancient, half-finished games that are sort of cult classics, like, there's this one game I have on my YouTube called Master of Magic that nobody's heard of, that is like this old 4X game that was just hilariously poorly balanced, but really, really interesting, almost because it was poorly balanced, you know, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but you'd have to play it, really, to understand. What video games? Well, I streamed XCOM for a little while, XCOM 2. Envy was kind enough to buy me Darkest Dungeon, and I streamed that. I had some pretty strong opinions on that game. I believe you would call that one a roguelite. By the way, I just now noticed I hadn't done that floor. You'll play XCOM 2 multiplayer with me right now? I'll probably lose, so... I thought you said your internet was bad. How does it hold up with that? Alright, let's decide where we want to go. This character's in a weird space because I'm almost never walking around at this point with no RF swap. But here we are. I mean, I guess I could wear this plate armor, fire resistance. It's gonna wreck my AC, but it might be the right thing to do. Did I not like Darkest Dungeon? I have such mixed feelings about Darkest Dungeon because the heart of the game has such promise. You know, you play it for the first time and you're like, whoa, this is so fucking cool. Like, it's extremely thematic. You know, it leaves you wanting more. You go through the first dungeon and you're like, man, I want to build my team of badasses and I want to, you know, see what this game has to offer. And then you start playing it a little more, and you realize that it's just this like horrible, grindy slog where they did almost everything wrong that they possibly could have done in terms of making the game fun. Like I understand what they were going for. Like Tyrone Jiggins here says that Darkest Dungeon is it's a game about making the best out of a bad situation, and it literally warns you about that when you open up the game. And I can respect that. Okay, that's interesting. But I mean, at some point, you have to realize that you're making a video game. And I don't think that Darkest Dungeon really functions very well as a video game because of how grindy it is, you know. They let the theme run away from them a little bit, I think. And it's... When making the best of a bad situation essentially means that you have to deal with losing dudes due to RNG bullshit. You know, like, oh, this big fat ogre man in the forest just one-shotted my guys with a crit that did like 90 damage, which is more hit points than anybody has ever. I mean, there comes a time when you have to be like, well, maybe this just isn't fun, you know? And that's how it was for me. I mean, I ended up putting the game down and not finishing it because, well, I didn't... I mean, I like cheated to finish the game because I wanted to see the ending, and I wanted to see how it played out, but it wasn't because I felt like I couldn't do it normally, it was just because I knew I was going to have to grind for an unconscionable number of hours to get dudes that were strong enough to actually complete the game, you know? Because it's not a particularly forgiving game is the thing, in terms of, like, not only is it heavy RNG, you also have to have really, really strong guys to have a half-decent chance of doing the Darkest Dungeon, which is the last area of the game, or even you know, handling the sort of hardest, the next hardest areas, the red-colored areas. You know, if you try to roll in there with a group of level 4s, you're probably just gonna lose. And so it's like you know, if they took that game and they just shortened it a lot, you know, if they took that game, shortened it a lot, took out all the grinding, made it slightly less punishing when you lose a dude, you know, because that guy represents this massive gold investment if you've upgraded his armor or whatever. I mean, I really understand what they were trying to go for. The idea that your guys aren't important, you know, they're sort of, what do you call it, disposable resources. I mean, I thought that was so cool, and it really does encourage you to think about it in a different way from your usual, you know, I'm playing a video game and I'm developing this unstoppable team of badasses, fine. But if you want to make a game like that, you have to, yeah, expendable, disposable, whatever. But if you want to make a game like that, my feeling on the matter is that you have to take the grind out. It has to feel like they're disposable. And the game manages to make them feel both disposable and sort of this necessary asset that you had to spend hours and hours building up. And the worst part of that is that, you know, no matter how good you are at the game, RNG can just take your guys away from you. And I feel like there's this sort of table being supported by a small number of legs, and one of the legs needs to, or like one of the legs is missing, so to speak. I mean, this is kind of a metaphor I'm making up on the spot, so it's not very good, but and what I'm trying to say is that if you want to build a game focused around all those concepts, all those themes, you cannot also make the player feel like utter shit when they lose a guy. You know, you cannot punish the player with another 30-some odd hours of grinding if they wipe a team. You know, you have to sort of make the player feel like it's okay to throw dudes away because they got too many bad quirks. You know, in my opinion, because otherwise you turn your game into this horrible slog. And I mean, I haven't talked. Oh wow, there's a WizLab. I didn't even notice. We probably won't reach it now, but maybe. It says frantic ticking. Not sure how I missed this. Can I make it? Oh yeah, WizLab time. Hey, it's Galubria. I like this. Well, I don't know. I think XCOM 2 is really, really forgiving by comparison. Wow, did we immediately? No, we didn't immediately get into the tentacle room. This is a WizLab with, it's like translocations themed, so we go into portals, we eventually fight an Eldritch Tentacle, and we get rewarded with artifact cloaks, which may or may not be garbage. Hopefully not. Yeah, I mean, I actually really, I mean, I liked XCOM 2. I have to say that I had some complaints about that too, but mainly centered around like RNG and things like that. But I was a huge fan of the original XCOM back in the day. You know, the old DOS game. I thought that game was really, really, really before its time. Let's take this portal. This keeps sending me here. How do I... Okay. Okay. I forgot how to get around in here. But yeah, I mean, XCOM 2 was a lot of fun. I'll put Synth back on. And the thing is, unless you're playing at the absolute highest difficulty in XCOM, yes, losing guys feels like shit, but you can bounce back. You know, if you lose a couple dudes, your whole campaign isn't over unless you're playing on the highest difficulty. even on the next to highest difficulty, you can bounce back from that if you're good enough. I mean, one of my favorites when I played XCOM, the first one, not the second one, the Firaxis first one, not the actual first one. One of my favorite memories was I was playing on the second to highest difficulty, and I actually did have a status black or whatever they call it, where I lost my entire team, and I did bounce back from that. You know, I was playing with the add-on where you you can make the mech warrior dudes, which are broken as hell. So I did kind of abuse that a bit, but nonetheless, I mean, I don't know. That was a good memory because I made the best of a bad situation. You can actually do that without a horrible grind in that game. You got the Amulet of Vitality, nice man. Wow, Abyssal Knight in here? That might be interesting. You could just corrupt your way through. Anyway, we gotta try these different portals, and eventually we find our way into here. Can I, We're gonna use acid on this thing. Now, the Eldritch Tentacle is actually immune to acid, so that wouldn't have hit him. No, Tyrone, I'm not picking the gods that Elliptic chose because I'm playing in a different version as well. I'm not really, it doesn't make a lot of sense to marry myself to whatever gods he chose because the games are different. You know, the RNG is different. I find different altars first, so I don't think that would be particularly interesting in terms of like I'm no longer making tactical decisions at that point. Like I want it to be what can I do with the combo, and then can I survive from that point forward, not you know what son of a bitch. We just used the box of beasts and it broke immediately. However, we have a primal beast, so let's just use him. I didn't want to have to get into melee with this tentacle if I could avoid it, but it looks like I'm probably going to have to anyway. Scatter shot, kill it. Really didn't want to take hits from him because he could paralyze me and just murder me. I think he picked a removed god as well at some point. What, Pacellus? Okay, garbage cloak, mostly garbage cloak. Pretty good cloak, that's Arlek. I kind of wish that, well, maybe we'll find one with MR. That's MR minus, how cute. We're not wearing MR minus. So we got a little bit bamboozled by finding this because cloaks are all well and good, but we've already got an MR plus cloak that we're relying on, so not really not really the ideal whiz lab, I suppose, for us to find. Although I can't complain. We did find Arlek on a cloak, so maybe someday, if we find MR on anything else, perhaps we'll end up in that. But yeah, the other cloaks are kind of crap. MR minus, -2 cloak, -2 cloak. It's crap. I want to check out, if I can find the path, I want to check out the top left. There it is. Yeah, Pacellus was interesting, but also really weirdly balanced. He just didn't really work very well as a god concept. You could kind of farm up potions of magic, which was weird by itself. He was a evocations god. Also, yeah, there was that funny glitch where you could superpower charge a rod, but then it was broken to where you could actually use it on any item, and you could end up with like a +72 triple sword, or a +1000 club. Hey, a genuine pro cold, rather than ice. Moving on up in the world. Yeah, that was a fun glitch. I also remember when Wu Jan first went in, if you died as a Felid while you had Holy whatever up, whatever the alt's called, Holy Storm, you just stayed in, when you revived, you stayed in Holy Storm forever. So you could build up to infinite extra slaying. And also your slaying no longer counted down. So just forever added up. Oops, this is Vaults 5. I didn't realize I was so far along. Can we do Vaults 5 right now? Considering there's a warden right there, I don't really want to, so we're going to come right back up. Yeah, I don't want to do that yet with my resistances such as they are. Yeah, the me and team. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, that's, as I recall, that's pretty accurate. Pakelis was strong as hell. But then again, evocations in general were pretty strong. I mean, it was just nice to be able to guarantee finding a rod, you know, because he would just give you one. Give you a few, actually, as gifts, I think. Alright, so I'd rather not do this without, I'd rather not do this without our core, but I think I'm gonna. I think we're gonna go into slime. Casually dive into V5. It's not that big of a deal because if you go down, you get, for the first time you enter a floor, you actually get like a free action. So unless there was a tentacle monster literally right next to me, there's pretty much nothing that can stop me from going right back up. Like even if he locks the door, this warden guy, I still get to go up. So it's not like, it's not the worst thing. What resists would you recommend for V5? Everything. I mean, you just really want everything except for our core, which even that is nice to have. No, the stairs can get locked. It's just that if you start going up and he locks the stairs while you're going up, it doesn't block you from going up. We're going to make this work. No acid blobs yet. JK, there's our first one. Okay, under some circumstances, water elementals can kill acid blobs all on their own, and it looks like my boys are doing it. They killed the one. Here's another one coming. We're corroded. Let's take this guy down. Go back up. Put on Amulet of Rage. Come down. Go up. Probably shouldn't have zerked off of a staircase unless I was on like a, well, an upstairs that was safe. Similar priority resist as depths, pretty much. I mean, you'd like to have everything. Electricity is actually surprisingly important in there because of Titans. But MR is, of course, it's the most important. Alright, I don't usually like to use a resistance while going down. Let's go up. There were 2 blobs there, so I burned a resistance. I happen to have 3 of them is why I was willing to do that. Let's not do that again, though. Yeah, Ancient Liches can show up on V5. For sure. Okay, even without our core, we should be able to melee these guys. This works. I'm going to let the flames kill this and hope we don't get mutated. We have some 6 mutation potions. Your system partially rejects the healing effect of potions. That's bad. We could have been a little more clever about avoiding damage or avoiding mutations from him. That is bullshit. What's bullshit? The fact that an A-Lich can be on V5? I mean, it's a V5. It's shouldn't really be that surprising that late game threats are in it. But yeah, MR is the most important thing for slime. The Mian team is giving pretty good advice, so good guy to listen to. I am playing too fast. I got mutated there and I didn't have to. Order my water elementals to kill the acid guy. Let's have them hit this one. Nice. Dude, Phyla Floods is awesome. The fact that it can solve problems, really big problems like this for me, is very nice. I just wish I had like Ice Blast or something. This is kind of ugly. Okay, I made a demon. He came in hostile. That's a shame. Do I have our poise? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna AF to heal. I want my clouds to kill these things. AF to heal again. Swing. Okay, I'll pull this stuff up. And then I'll Zerk this stuff. That was a little clumsy. Just a little. Let's look at wands. How about that? I am very unused to not having Ice Blast or anything. I don't know if I've used too many of them. Invo? Oh, I only have 5 Invo. I've undertrained it because I don't usually have need of it. That's clouds, that's good. But you know what? This character, given his dearth of actual wandage, I've overtrained evocations like crazy. But that'll come in handy later. Yeah, no, I just kind of leave that on the whole game as a Deep Dwarf on a regular basis. Because having high evocations is really, really amazingly good. Oh cool, +9 broad X time. I got acquirement. Pretty happy with my weapon. So we're going to do armor. We'll get some gloves. +0 of dexterity. Okay, I guess. Yeah, evocations also increases your max mana pool, so that's another reason to train it absurdly high. And at +3 aptitude, 24 is not as high as it looks. Alright, this is bizarre, but I am going to go back and pick up Wand of Flame, just so I have a ranged option against acid blobs. I mean, you would be surprised. You can kill acid blobs with a Wand of Flame. And these guys. You know what? I'll just walk up and kill them. Oddly enough, not too many bad mutations. Go up. Notice how I rest off my Berserk on the upstairs, so I have somewhere reasonably safe to go. Oh boy. That's 2. Let's find a different way downstairs, and there's another Shining Eye. Let's be a little more clever about the way we handle this one. I'm going to fog. Hate to waste fog since I only have 2, but... Scattershot is great if I hadn't sort of wasted mine. Thanks, Tyrone. Have a good night, man. This is weird. I want to find a different way into Slime 5. Technically I could take that hatch, but hell no. Got corroded, so let's kill these guys and then rest that off. Boom, 2 different ways into Slime 5. It got not unlucky this time insofar as like we have, you know, a clear path to both of these with no shenanigans required. 1% chance of confused, that's not terrible when you have 9 curing. I have summoning scrolls, right? Yeah, I have 4. Any interesting loot lying around? I guess there's an artifact shield, that could be cool. Where's TRJ? He wanders off. We'll get him. I'm just hoping I don't get memed on while slow, you know. Okay, use positioning to kind of minimize the number of turns next to the shining eye. Uh-oh. That's TRJ, but thankfully the slow ends at the exact perfect time. Let's turn on haste. Let's put on acrobat. Let's put on agi. Let's put on resistance. Boom, boom, boom. Make a little space here. I will drink some might. Alright. Time to net him. Time to use some summoning from this very particular spot. That's 2 summonings. I could lamp him, but that could screw up and hit my boys. I guess I could just clouds him. I'll do that. Okay, he's in thunder. We'll just swing on him. I'm going to net him again. And he dies to the thunder, actually. Or maybe he died to the azure jelly. Pretty straightforward fight. I mean, I memed him pretty hard. Yeah, that was a really clean kill. Doesn't always go so clean, but that one was just extremely by the book. Now we get to check out all this loot. Nothing particularly interesting yet. Why do you need to train Invo on Trog? His abilities don't care about Invo. Holy dog shit, I think that's the worst item I've ever seen. -7 Shield of the Cooper. RF minus. Yeah, none of that. Slate +2 Senvering. Huh, I guess that's actually better than my generic Senvering, so we'll wear that. Or we won't wear it, but we'll keep it in the inventory. The percentage gets reduced as you get piety, STG. Uh-oh, memed even harder. We wore this Star Drain Fustibulus. I wanted to see if it was perhaps minus Telly, which is useful later. Grab this lightning rod, that's going to be nice with my gigantic evocations. Didn't find any game-changing items here. I guess I should probably check the staff in case it's RF. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. How did I deal with the royal jelly? I did my usual sort of get him in a corner and beat him to death by using summons to block him from running away type thing. And I buffed up first, so I had our core. And yeah, nets are an important part of that plan. Alright, I'm just going to use this enchant armor on the shield. I don't even care. I know there's a crystal plate lying around, but whatever. If I'm lucky, we'll just find golden dragon scales, because this body armor's not cutting it anymore. You know. Alright, TeCj, thanks for coming by the stream, man. Have a good night. Don't forget to send me some marbles later. Little in-joke there. GDS is a lie. I hope not. Okay, vaults we've already done up to vaults 4. This character is so weird. We oh, we haven't finished D13. Oops. I'm not usually in this position where a character is lacking so much stuff so far into the game. We're not weak by any means, it's just feels a little odd. I guess I haven't done Elf yet. We could make that work. Do we have digging? Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's definitely an option, the main team. I like to use the MO play primarily on... Whoops. Primarily on Kiku guys, or anybody who can cast sticks to snakes. DDFs for melee, really good. +1 for axes, so that's great. -1 for fighting is not bad. +1 for dodging and armor and shields. So just amazingly good, really. Okay, we're going to dig this out. Even without resistance, these things can only do about 81 damage to me, so just melee them to death. What a dumb vault this is. Alright, so we lack resistances. But even so. Hey, Alf. What's up, my friend? Thank you for the sub, the resub. Alf here is bankrolling this entire operation. Almost single-handedly. Because he's a champion. Whoa, what is this? What is this vault? I didn't know this vault could spawn in Elf. If this is what I think it is. We'll check on that here in a minute. Let's finish the rest of the floor. How you doing tonight, Alf? Hey, found some ice blast. You know what? Let's do the Hall of Blades. There could be a better broad axe. Flaming is not what I'd like to keep for the whole game, if I can avoid it. Broad axe is the best one-handed axe, yeah. And flaming is pretty damn good, but kind of drops off a little bit once you get to Zot, since you kind of want to be able to do big damage to things like orbs of fire that will just sort of be immune to all your extra damage. Seems kind of rare to find broad axes in the Hall of Blades, though, so I wouldn't get too excited about a replacement. And even if we did find one, it wouldn't be +9, so what are you going to do? Nice, Alf. Evo increases the number of, I don't know about the accuracy, but I know Evo increases the number of hits of scattershot. SlAE doesn't affect it at all. Wow, Alf, you must be tired as hell. It's outrageous. All right, what is going on with this this vault? This is so strange. I'm actually going to dig it out. Yeah, isn't that like a fireable offense? I don't know if there were no call, no shows or not, but oh, dude, we don't have RF. Well, whatever. I'll just go through anyway and rely on damage shaving. Really? The reward is gold? The reward is just gold. I feel so ripped off. He burns to death, alright. But for real, this is a dumb vault. I've never seen this in my life. It's not even the one I thought it was. Debated. Super last minute. Yeah, I mean, reliability is, I've found that in professional environments, I mean, the number one important thing is reliability. You could be the best worker in the world sometimes, and if you can't do that, you know, if you're unreliable, then you're not going to have your job for long. You know, it sucks, man. It sucks almost as much as that vault sucked. That's okay though. We'll just keep on keeping on. Okay, I don't really want to tab the entire end vault, but I feel like we probably could. Okay, now I'm scared because there's a annihilator. Let's pull these guys up. Well, don't wreck on my account, Alf. I mean, I would feel real bad about that. So that's why we need those Elon Musk self-driving vehicles, right? Doesn't the Tesla have some kind of autopilot mode now? Or is that in beta still? Need to drop some stuff. Let's drop this Ring of Slaying. Who else would fund this for me? I don't know. Nobody. Envy is pretty good with the bits. Envy knows the secret of getting free bits. There's somehow you can get like a few bits, like a couple dollars worth of bits by watching ads sometimes, and it only works at certain hours of the day, I guess. I think he was talking about that a while back. Oh, all hands free, there you go. Then what you're doing is fully legal. Let's drop Torment. Why would I need to carry Torment? I'm gonna tab this guy. If need be, I can always burn silence on these guys. You know, if the fight goes really poorly and I need to guarantee my survival. I'm going to do the rest of the floor. A Ring of Wizardry. Certainly don't need that. self-heal. It's just too much damage possible. Hands-free car, it was James Bond stuff. I feel like that's probably... Well, Google can get away with it with their self-driving cars, but is that even available on the market yet for consumers, for retail? I mean, my understanding was that was all still being tested. Yeah, Teslas are pretty close. I heard about their... Well, it's funny, there was like this really horrible accident. That's not funny, but what's funny is people were like trying to blame the Tesla autopilot feature for this person, I think in Canada, who had just like plowed through this intersection in a city at like 50 miles per hour. And apparently the autopilot feature doesn't even let you go that fast, I don't think, in the city. Like it'll only go 5 miles above the speed limit and that's it. So it was literally impossible that it could have been engaged. But of course people want to sensationalize it, you know. I'm going to Ice Blast, because I didn't want to get Chaos Demon parried. Yeah, the Chaos brand is just too spooky. Or are you referring to this plus 12 Hand Axe Dragonbane? Let's pull this stuff. This is a little bit too much for me. Oh, we'll just rest until that Shadow Fiend goes away. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's there's really no defending Chaos Brand if you're talking about from a, you know, playing from an optimal perspective. I'm gonna drop this evasion. I'm gonna wear this awesome ring. Hey Al, thanks man. 27 gift subs. Outrageous. This is interesting. I don't really want to have Star Corrode, but the RLEC and the RF Plus is so good, and EV+4 as well. I think I'm going to have to go against my better judgment and use Star Corrode for once. This is a high-level shapeshifter. But we take him out. Yeah, no, that's a ton of gift subs. And if you look at the leaderboard, he's also supremely in command there. So, I mean, there's a reason why I named the chat emote after him. He's a really, really nice guy. Really generous champion over here. Helping me, well, certainly motivates me to stream more often, I'll say that much. Whoa, +9 speed hand crossbow. That would have been nice to find early. Helmet of Intelligence. Same AC as the hat, so we'll wear the helmet. Artifact Cloak. More often than random hours of the night. There's that ulterior motive. Okay, I don't need a stat stick cloak. I'd rather have the MR. Hardcore chainmail, meh. Drop the Staff of Error now that we have Arlek on a ring. We actually have a minus Tele ring, which is pretty sweet. That's actually awesome. Gonna have to carry that around. Drop the Ring of Stealth. Mirror, now you can look and scare yourself. Right. Inaccuracy and R poise. Haha, no thanks. Another Scarf of Spirit Shield. Absolute garbage, but that's okay. You know what, let's drop Acrobat. Yeah, you probably should eat something, Elf. Don't go to bed without eating. Okay, there was an amulet of reflection somewhere around here. I mean, if you pulled like 3-4 shifts, it sounds like you probably need to eat. Just a friendly piece of advice there. Alright, still no dragon scales, but I'm pretty happy with this find. Trog's Regard here. Food wasn't the first thing on my mind. You dog. No, I approve. Alright, let's just do crypt. I usually don't do it, but this character kind of wants the extra help. Technically I could go ahead and do oh damn, I better pay attention. Let's clouds. It's a bad cloud. Did I go in that frozen portal? What frozen portal? There was a frozen portal? I mean, there might have been last session. Yeah, no, I remember now. There was. Broken in Elf 1, yeah, I did that. Okay, we're going to tele here just in case it goes poorly. It was starting to go poorly. Let's kill some stuff, get my hit points back. Annoying that we found a cursed skull basically immediately, which was the one thing I really didn't want to have to deal with here too much. Whoa. Hey, buddy. We can beat him. He's easy enough on this character. We'll make a friend who is both friendly and summoned. We will burn haste for this. We will burn a might. We will burn agility, which is probably a little bit overkill, but this should be enough. Down he goes. On a big melee guy, it's often as easy as just tabbing into him, you know. Isel, also easy to kill at this stage of the game. We'll copy a Boris here. Let's swing him down. Switch to TSO and farm Piety. Yeah, it's an option. Sort of unnecessary though. See, look how fast the Cursed Skull goes down this time with no torments. It's just kind of an RNG crapshoot how the fight's gonna go. Deep Throat? deep Dwarf, you mean? That's, now I know what you're typing about if that's your autocorrect. Slight advantage in crypts, yeah. Well, not just from the damage shaving, but also you get a pip of R negative just by default. But yeah, I mean, if I was doing 15 runes, we would swap to TSO right now. But we're not, so. I see an artifact body armor. I'm inclined to check it out. It's nothing. Alright, let's do Crypts 2. Whoa, Greater Mummy, huh? gonna pull him. I'm just kind of meleeing him. And it does work, although wrecks my hit points.
Well, crappity crap crap crap. Fail of the day.
Fail of the day. Your typo there. Kind of interesting, these greater mummies on this floor, because it's the special vault that throws Khufu at you. Wow, that's Frederick, and he just iron shotted himself due to my reflection. Let's go up. I don't want to be marked on this floor. Not with Frederick and Khufu, and possibly another greater mummy, maybe a couple. I mean, that's some super post-game content there that you're forced to fight if you want to finish, well, if you want to full clear. Turn count runs be like this in universe. Yeah. Oh, it's a video. Do I have tree form potion? Yeah, I could lignify. I honestly don't like to lignify that much against greater mummies and whatnot, because suddenly their defenses are actually not great for even trying to tank like Emperor Scorpions, you know? I mean, I have RN+++, so I don't feel terrible about just kind of meleeing them down. Like, the Torment's bad, but it's not as bad as it could be. I mean, I was able to, whoops. I was able to just like tank one of those mummies and smash him, so. Sure, I can do it to Khufu as well. Staff form, only form. That's right. Let's take a look at this dude. I'm just gonna like lure him over here. If he torments me, that's fine. Actually, let's kill Ghoul real fast, go back down, come back up, heal up a few times, come back down. Pull this stuff up. Please don't slow me, Mr. Wraith. Good. You know what I should have done? Should have lamped him. There we go. Okay, buddy. If you want to burn to death over there, that's fine with me. In your rush, you pull up your roots and walk. I like that. Maybe I'll put that in my fork. Oh, this is ugly as hell. This is really ugly. I'm going to teleport. Oh, unnecessary teleport. All right. You're dying, Monkus. Yeah, that'll happen when you're slow next to a greater mummy and some scarabs. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I phantom mirrored a scarab just to try to get AF slow and some extra damage on the mummy, but that didn't really work out. Scarabs are deadly as hell. Wow. Another cursed skull, this time immediately. Pull him up. He's tormenting the hell out of me. I guess I'll teleport. I could get like flayed and tormented at the same time, so I'm just self-healing now until the tele kicks in. That was lame as hell. Spider for Scarab. See, at least then it's more controlled. You know it's coming. So you can kind of set some things up. There we go, finally. Okay, self-heal a bunch of times. Do I want to just kill this stupid rune-locked lich? There's a glowing crystal plate armor behind him. Okay. Yeah, I do. 0% chance for him to do things to me. Like a greater servant. Nice. Hey, Alf, thanks for the sub, man. Pro cold on that. That's amazing. I can drop my pro cold ring. We now have pro cold all the time. I'm gonna just burn all my enchant armors now on that. We're wearing pro cold crystal plate. That's just what we're doing. And that's fine. We'll take armor to 20. My goal is to get at least all of your regular viewer base to be subs. I don't know if all of them are going to resub on their own after that, but it's a noble goal, and I support it, and I'm definitely appreciative, so thumbs up. At the very least, what that'll do for me is if I get enough, I can add more emotes to the stockpile once I have enough subs, so that's really, really good. Is 10 Envo enough? Honestly, 10 Envo is more than enough on this character. I mean, 13% hostile, yeah, that sucks, but how often do I really need to do Greater Servant, you know? Oh, that's true, Alf, you could. I didn't want to be presumptuous about that, though. That's what you're planning to do, wow. It's very nice of you, man. Seriously, it is stunning. The generosity, very, very appreciated. Please don't iron shot me twice. Okay, good. Versus mummies? Well, I shouldn't have to fight any more greater mummies unless I get memed on a little bit in this Crypt 3. Like, I'm only here to get extra equipment, and the crystal plate's definitely helping. Wow, dispersal. Let's Ice Blast these guys, soften them up, get my hit points back. Do I have MR plus from something other than that cloak? It's bizarre that we're already immune to Ancient Liches despite only being level 23. Crazy how much MR Deep Dwarves get. A lot of greater mummies. I don't actually recognize this end vault, but it is in fact forcing me to fight mummies again. So let's deal with that with the old lightning rod plan. That should be the worst of it. Yeah, no, I mean that's a really excellent philosophy, Alf, and I mean I think that's really inspirational, to be honest, because you know, in the world that we live in, which is honestly very it's very shallow if you're in Western civilization, especially, where it's just like you buy essentially everything about modern living. It sort of incentivizes you to buy a bunch of stupid shit that's not actually going to improve your life. Everything is super commercialistic, but not even, you know, not even in a way that really improves your life. You're just buying a bunch of garbage. You know, honestly, you usually do it with money you don't even have, since everything's run on credit. And you know, if you could use your money instead to either make the world a better place or to give back to people who are making your life better, you know, instead of just buying more garbage, you know, it's like, I don't know. I know guys who feel like they had to buy a new car every single year, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You have a six-figure salary, that's great, but you know, isn't there something else you could be spending your money on? It's like, dude, the kind of guys who have like 7 cars, you know. Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I don't know. It feels like such a waste compared to, you know, things that actually do improve your life. Can you get Vampire Brand from Brand Scroll? Yes, but it's like, it's less common than the other brands. Well, honestly though, Alf, eating leftovers at home is probably better for you. Like, I think that was a win for me, and it was also a win for you. I don't know about you, but every time I eat Taco Bell, my stomach is not happy with me afterwards. Oh God, what am I doing, dude? I am stunned. I am stunned at how many mummies are in this. This is a floor of tomb. This isn't even crypt anymore. This is just tomb. Yeah, no, I should have summoned demons. I was just kind of like talking. I was getting on my soapbox or whatever. Wasn't paying attention to the fact that, oh, that's a hostile demon. That we're dealing with super post-game content here. Yeah, Alf, that's pretty much the same thing that happens to me. It's just weird because sometimes you get this craving for garbage like Taco Bell, and you don't even like think of the consequences. At least that's what happens to me. I'm just like, you know what? I haven't done this in several months. I'm gonna eat some terrible fast food, and then you're like, oh, it actually was bad. But in the moment, it feels like such a good idea. I don't know why I tried that ringmail on. There's no way I would have worn it. But yeah, that whole idea about giving back, that's one of the reasons I'm really interested in that that Brave browser thing I'm always telling people about. I'm always shilling that because it's just such a cool idea to me. The fact that you can get a few bucks for free just by watching ads or whatever. So it's like, yeah, you're being used as a product, which is what happens every time you're on the internet, just by virtue of the fact that people are buying and selling your data, and they want you to watch ads to buy more shit, right? So in a perfect world, you would, at the very least, want to get some money back from that, right? So with Brave, you get like 70% of the profits that anybody would be getting off of you watching those ads. But the cool thing about Brave is that it lets you give back to people who run websites, Reddit accounts, Twitter accounts, anybody on the internet that you want to fund. You know, it can automatically do that with a token, a cryptocurrency token, the same one that you get with the ad thing I was talking about. So stuff that makes it easy to reward content creators is always really cool to me. Those decisions are always made after 1 a.m. Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty much in the same boat there. Something about being awake too long just makes you just opens you up to some regretful choices. Check out this amulet. Acrobat, Blink, Rpoise, NP+9, and Synv. Yeah, Leech is unrand. Vamp, RN+, AC -3, EV -3, +8 Demon Blade. It's an endgame weapon. I mean, you could use it. Sorry, I had to hydrate there. But yeah, I mean, you hate to lose the defenses. That's actually kind of significant, but it's a great weapon. You know, it's a vampiric Demon Blade. I think probably it should have the same thing that other vampiric unrand does. You know, because what I mean by that is it should trigger vamp more often. It doesn't, but it should, in my opinion. But I always want unrands to be just hilariously strong. You know what? Screw it. Are you about to do something wild and crazy, Alf? It's Chads. The Chads! It's the Chads. Requirements. What should I acquire? Well, first of all, I can take off this ring.
Let's get it on.
What is going on? God damn, dude. That is outrageous.
Let's get it on.
Thank you so much, man. That is so cool. We're gonna be watching my buddy Ricardo for a little while, and I'm okay with that. Why did you do this to bots? It's automatic. It hands them out to random people. Seriously though, Alf, no, I really appreciate that. That's really cool of you.
Let's get it on.
I'm sure Doxine will be happy about that, especially. He's in my Discord. I'll have to let him know if he's not
Let's get it on.
lurking right now. Yeah, that's the thing, is like it's just a different way of donating. And the subs, it's nice because then a third party gets to benefit as well because they get the emotes and stuff.
Get it on.
But yeah, that is incredibly generous, like outrageously generous actually. I mean, I don't know how else to say. I probably sound like a broken record saying thank you repeatedly. I don't know how else to say it, but I do appreciate it. Trying to look over my rings here too. It's dual attention here. Baelish for the win. He was chatting in here a few days ago, I think.
Let's get it on.
Rainy Day Tomorrow is here all the time. Actually, he's a regular.
Let's get it on.
Also, you brought WizHood out of lurking with your massive gift, man. Was that the last one? All right. I didn't want to talk too much while it was going on. Just know that when you least expect it, Ricardo is enough of a broken record. It's the chat Illuminati, I see. I see what's up. Alright, so while that was going on, I was kind of multitasking a bit. I found this absurd amulet with Synv on it is the main thing. But Acrobat's great, Blink is awesome, Rpoise is okay, whatever. NP+9 doesn't really do anything for me, but fine. I'll take it, I guess. But the thing about that is with the Synv, I could take out my Synv ring that I was wearing, and I put on an RF plus ring instead. We're getting pretty close to the point where I'm really happy about my equipment. There's really only like a couple things I'd change at this point. In fact, I'm 100% happy with my equipment, save for the fact that this ring has Star Corrode on it. but it's a sort of necessary evil because my only other source is my only other source of RLEC that's viable is this cloak, but that would replace my cloak of magic resistance, which is my only source of magic resistance. So, what is my current training? We have been training nothing. We got shields to 25, so we've been training nothing but armor. Since I found Crystal Plate, it behooves me to get a ton of armor because I'll get more AC from that. In fact, the most possible from skill by virtue of the fact that I'm wearing the heaviest possible armor. So we're going to take that to like 20, and we're going to end up with a ton of AC. I think I'm going to actually use an acquirement now on armor. Got a ruined large shield, okay. Large shield of poison resist, we don't need that. Fighting, well fighting's 15 already is the thing, so I don't know. I'm inclined to believe that I'm going to get more. I mean, let's just keep an eye on it. Here's 38 AC. Once this is at 20, I mean there's a formula I could do, I think. See, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's based on... Hold on a minute. AC, base armor, base AC is 14 on a crystal plate. So you get 1.57 armor skill for one AC with a crystal plate. So I mean, I'll get like, I don't know, about 3-4 points of AC from this. I mean, it's pretty solid. It's, yeah, we'll end up with about 42 AC. That's significant. Here we are. Let's do Vaults 5. How about that? These guys want to see some Vaults 5? We have the resistances now. Hopefully Star Corrode doesn't screw us over too much. I'm going to stare into this if I can. Okay, stair dancing is ended for the moment. But the warden will come up next to me. Oops, corroded. So that's the problem with the Star Corrode, is that it can just sort of trigger. Oops, we had a moment to go up and I didn't take it. Whatever, we'll just kill the warden. Nice, now we go up. Sick. Having a powerful melee character really does make Vaults 5 a lot easier. I mean, the fact that you can stare dance. Oh! Bardish of Distortion just abyssed me. Wasn't paying too much attention to that. I probably should have been. Not necessarily for Disto, because I don't care if I'm abyssed, but Chaos. If it had been Chaos, I could have gotten paralyzed, which would have been no fun at all. What in the hell is this? This is like a weird abyss ecumenical temple. So this is what happens when a temple gets abyssed. It just goes here. 5 runes run? Yeah, I guess I'll just go deeper and maybe we will go look for it. Nope, there's the exit. Well, I'll take this. I'll take some items first. Yep, sorry. Found the exit, so I might as well take it, right? Yeah, you could find it on Abyss 3, but this character is strong enough that... You know what we're going to do? We're going to paralyze this dude. This character is strong enough that... Wow, I got teleported. That I could handle the deeper floors, and it's going to show up more often. It's going to show up more often on the deeper floors. So I was just, for quickness' sake, Holy shit, he just LCS'd me twice in a row. Some RNG there. Let's take out this mage. That was really something. On another character that might have been scary, but this is a deep dwarf, so we just kind of keep chatting along, showing V5 who the alpha male of this, who the boss of this gym is. Get him out of that jabroni outfit. Uh-oh. Let's, can I get a quick Warren gear glance? Can't tell on my phone very well. Oh, you want to see what I'm wearing? Yeah, absolutely. We have a +9 broadaxe of flame, a +1 large shield, +5 crystal plate armor of cold resistance, which is actually a really rare and fun find. Helmet of Int +3. I don't care about the Int, it's just the best helmet we found. Cloak of MR+, that's probably the most crucial piece, since we need that to be immune to MR threats from liches and ancient liches. Gloves of Dex +3, boots of flying. Again, I don't care about the flying, it's just the best boots I found. And then we have these wacky pieces of jewelry. Acrobat plus Blink, Arpoise, MP +9, and Synv on an amulet. And then we have a ring of basically just RF+. It has some stats on it that I don't care about, and plus fly, but whatever. And then here's the most controversial piece. This is actually, you know, if you took away the Star Corrode, it would be outrageously strong. It's got RLEC, RF+, and EV +4, and a little bit of Int. Star Corrode makes it a little questionable to wear, even though it is great. But we're going to make it work. Anyway, I was worried in this situation, in this particular grouping of enemies, mostly because I didn't want to get the Phantasmal Warrior to have my MR and then get like paralyzed by the Lich. So we lamped and kind of controlled the situation so that couldn't happen. Or if it did happen, I would have blinked away before he had a chance to paralyze me. Liches are cold mages. Well, you know, liches and ancient liches can bolt you, bolt of cold for like 90 to 100 damage, so it's not too far from the truth for some of them. Okay, we finally killed a Bardich warrior. He was a tiresome man. Shiny large shield. +2. Alright, that's a strict upgrade. Enchant armor, always good to find. Keep enchanting up the crystal plate. We're already at 43 AC, by the way. 42 if you don't want to count that enchant I just added. And our armor has bumped to 17.5 from 13, so I mean, we've already got incredible gains out of training armor, so I think that was the right move. And we're still going. There's a lot of damage possible here. Let's paralyze the Aten. Dang, there's a freaking... It's another Phantasmal Warrior. If we get MR/2, I can just run away, I guess. Alright, there we go. I don't want to know what those ogres and centaurs are doing in those closed rooms with all the tentacled monstrosities. I feel like they're reenacting videos from the internet, perhaps. No comment on what kind of videos those are. It does kind of make you wonder, I mean, is the player actually a genocidal maniac? Because it seems like people were just kind of happily living in this dungeon until you showed up. if the code was a little more advanced, it might be interesting, to make it support sort of teams of monsters, because I would like to see vaults where, I don't know, kobolds are fighting goblins or something, and you can come in there and mop up after they're all done. You'd have to edit the code though for that to even be possible, I think. Hey, they tried to kill you first, that's true. Rat skin cloak. Kind of a cute item, but not at this point in the game. Nice, a sack of spiders. Given my absolutely insanely high evocations, we definitely want to walk into Zot with at least one sack. It's very helpful. And we have 3 boxes, so that's also really nice. Support the genocidal dungeon diver concept. Hey man, I'm an adventurer. I just get to take what I want. Manifest destiny or whatever. This loot is worth 1,000 monsters' lives. These boots, they're actually boots of running. I am going to wear those despite the AC hit. And I'm going to buy this acid wand. Should have a real easy time tabbing through depths. Although, you know what I'm going to do real fast? Let's take a little detour into hell. Alright, so Garyon wanted to be cute today, so I guess we're going to have to kill hole it up. Casually ate 5 families, 3 cows and a horse because one local was rude. I don't remember cannibalism being possible in Skyrim, but I guess I didn't play through it that completely. I know you can turn into a vampire. Ah, okay, so you were a vampire, there you go. See, I got to that part. I remember that being a lot of fun. I remember discovering some kind of weird glitch with the vampire where you weren't supposed to be able to stay in the like super duper mega charged up form for very long, but I figured out some wacky ass way to do it. Cannibalism is a thing though, huh? That's right, 24.4 Evo Horn of Garyon. That'll be fun. We'll get a lot of hell beasts on our side, probably like 3. That's enough to kill an orb of fire, really. In fact, why don't we max out evocations just for fun? It's been a while since we've had a 25 Evo character. Okay, that's an Ancient Lich. Why don't we just acid him? Sort of killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Now this was all for the Ring of the Mage, which is MR++, I guess. The Black Hand, I feel like I've heard of this. Anyway, we could wear that, and then that would let us... You know what? This is the path. this is the path to getting rid of this stupid core ring, or star corrode ring. I'm going to lose some defenses, but not having corrode is just very important to me. We wear the Ring of the Mage. We drop the Cloak of Magic Resistance. We lose a little AC and a little EV, but again, I mean, just the chance of getting mega corroded, not very fun. We wear this cloak. So now we still have pips of resistance and everything important. And, you know, a little less defense, but whatever. Cool with it. And we even have a little bit of extra MR in case we were to get like MR/TuD. I'm honestly inclined to do a few floors of a Ziggurat. This character doesn't need it, but it is kind of cool that I have use for virtually infinite enchant armor scrolls. Yeah, we'll clear out this floor and then we'll go into that Ziggurat. This is only depths 2, but well, I might finish depths first before doing that actually. Malcolm Teeth Dwarf Lord of Tabs. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're playing a character like this, sometimes there's not a whole lot to talk about. I could talk about this fun little vault we found. We're gonna find the elemental staff in here, held by one of the most unique monsters, really. One of the more interesting monsters in the game. If I can get there without dying to all this crap. This is a streak game, though? What about it? He's saying I shouldn't be tabbing. So yeah, look at this guy. He's so cool. He can haste himself, he can iron shot, he can do all kinds of wacky elemental stuff like sticky flame range and summoning various types of elementals. And this is the only vault in the game where he spawns, and I just tabbed him to death. Whoa, this is weird. I thought the elemental staff always spawned, but I guess sometimes it's just like a staff of earth. Huh. Bizarre. A little odd. Your coins being counted. Also, we have acquirement. I should have used that a while ago. Look at me just casually tabbing a Juggernaut.
Let's get it on.
Hey, Alf. Thanks for the sub, man. 39 gift subs. God damn. Okay. Saw some artifact boots. Let's check those out. +0 boots of love and death. -4 strength, which is not so good. Wow, but they have Arlek on them. And RN++ and Slay +4. I think we gotta go in that direction. Try on this plate armor. +10 plate RF-. Nope. There's a box of beasts. We'll buy that. Take a look at a few more things. Yeah, I need some strength, some more strength. It's actually kind of nuking my EV, my strength is low enough in this crystal plate, you know. Oh, hey, enchant armors. That's really good. Okay, and we'll get some more Ice Blast. I'm like burning through all my gold. This is actually a very, very cool bazaar because there's so much stuff to buy, and for once I have a ton of gold to spend on it, you know. That's right, I see. Thanks to Alf, you now have the power of the best emotes on Twitch at your disposal. Okay, I can't afford that broadaxe. There's probably not enough enchant weapon for it to be useful, so we'll just leave. I'm going to acquire, and I'm tempted to, well, first of all, I'm going to drop this cloak. Because we have Arlek in the form of those really good boots now. So what we could do is we could put the MR Plus cloak back on. Yeah, we might acquire armor. Let me look at my situation here first. We're gonna drop the Ring of the Mage. Can we find, is there some ring that is perhaps plus strength? No. I just saw the name of this ring. It's the Ring of HEAs. It's like laughing at me. Well, you know what? What we'll do is we'll wear a ring of +5 evasion. That'll be a pretty huge benefit. Not protection, but evasion. Going from 8 to 13 is a lot better than going from 48 to 53. You'd acquire armor, though? Yeah, I'm leaning towards either that or, weirdly enough, a weapon. Because I don't actually want to be using this Broadaxe of Flame against Orbs of Fire if I can avoid it. I mean, it would work. I could make it work, it's fine, but... well, let me think. Man, we do have a lot of slots that could be artifacts. You're right, I should get armor. I could brand that axe. Oh, we got memed on. Just a generic pair of boots of running, which I'd rather have my resist. Could brand that axe. Is that so? No, we don't have any brand weapon. I actually already branded this axe. I've only found one brand weapon the entire game. No, the game was weirdly stingy with me. Like I didn't find a broadaxe until Vaults, and I kind of had to sneak in there to try to get one. And it wasn't even branded. The first one that I found, I had to brand it. So luckily I got Flame, which was okay for most of the game. But I mean, flaming is fine. If I just like... I mean, hell, I could go get that Amulet of Rage, and I could just probably berserk down Orbs of Fire. Plus, remember I have like a ton of... I have a ton of evocations, so... I mean, Orbs of Fire are not going to last very long against me with 27 Evo. Pretty much guarantees the acid splash pretty quickly, I think. Okay, depths 4. I don't know what this is, but I'm going into it. Joke's on you, I can just evoke Flight. Wow. What is this? These shenanigans. It's a giant party. How painful would that be without resistances? You could dive Abyss for one. What is this obsession with Abyss, man? Everybody wants me to go to the Abyss all the time. Just found the Necklace of Bloodlust. That's a very nice necklace, but I don't want to go berserk all the time, so we're not going to use it. Hello. Floating eye, are you charged up? Yeah, you're fully charged. This kind of sucks. This should kill it. Paralysis shouldn't. Well, I was going to say paralysis shouldn't kill me, but I guess we've just got steam that blocks line of sight anyway, so fine. I think I should be able to finish him with a single lightning rod. We could get paralyzed here, though. Yep, he's dead. Cool. Hate floating eyes. Necklace of Arg. Actually, that necklace is hilarious because you can completely abuse it by using it with like a ranged character or using it with like a caster. And so as long as you don't swing in melee, it can't zerk you, so you get the MR plus benefits, or you get the slaying benefits even if you're using a bow. Hey, Totery. I'm pretty much holding down tab until everyone dies. I mean, that's kind of what's happening here. This Giant Vault killed my last great run. Had some Death Knights close up the rear. I tried to back around a corner. Yeah, getting ambushed after dealing with all that crap doesn't sound like a lot of fun, Alf. But yeah, would you believe I've never seen that vault before? It's really interesting. It's like a football team full of giants just rolls out. Thank you for your forgiveness, Totery. I appreciate it.
Let's
Totery, how do you like having access to the best possible Twitch emotes? Oh, we are corroded 16 times over. Makes me feel like a chat. There you go. God, I can't kill anything at corrode 16. It's the one downside, really, to this character is that I am not walking around with our core all the time, but really who is. I mean, I could wear this -7 shield with Star Slow on it for our core. That'd be quite a meme. Where's the Virgin, then? Well, see, once I have a certain number of subs, I can add more emotes. Wow, Totery. That's just cruel. My heart. My poor heart. But yeah, I might add the Virgin to the emotes later once I get enough subs to have more slots. I just found a staircase I hadn't seen before. Why don't we check that up? That implies there's a separated floor here. Oh, it's just this... It's this weirdness, okay. Elevator vault. Does the bit leaderboard cycle every month? Yep. Yeah, it was set to like weekly before by default, but I mean my channel's so small that felt kind of silly. So I put it up to what I believe is the maximum. Okay, casually fighting these Shrikes with no R core seems to be working out. I like to lamp them. Doesn't he kind of made fun of me for doing this because they do have RF+, but it's some chip damage that happens to them every single turn. So I personally think it's okay. You'll wait a few days. The chat Illuminati is biding its time until it strikes again. Alright, Deps is done. Deps is done. Well, do you guys want to see some Zig? I probably won't do very much of it, but this character can't safely do a whole Zig, but he can do a few floors really safely. We might as well look for some... I mean, we might as well look for some enchant armor just because there's so many things we could use it on. And you tend to find a few in here. Like, there's one now. Whoa, we found a 3-stack of acquirement. Hello. Okay, well, armor. Boots of the Assassin, alright. I don't really want those, but... Armor. A fine cloak. Cloak of the Chupacabra, cool name, but I don't really want it. And you know what? Just for memes, let's go weapon. And we get a hand axe punishing me for going for memes. I could wear the Boots of the Assassin, but then I wouldn't have Arlek, so I do not think so. Let's go down. Sometimes you just find 3 stacks of any kind of scroll. So you can imagine how fun that is when you find 3 stacks of acquirement. 3 stacks of acquirement. Zom must have joined my Illuminati Chad cult. Should probably take this slowly since this is an Iron Giant. Anti-magic broadaxe. It's +0. I mean, I suppose I could use that for Orbs of Fire. Let's drop Paralysis. We'll take the anti-magic with us. Maybe I can find some more enchant weapon in here too. Should probably be leaving. I'm gonna use an invis. Most of this stuff can't see me. Wow, okay. Drop this Mace of Distortion. Actually, no. There are reasons I want to carry this mace with me all the time. Looks like the last floor to you. I'm just going to do one, just for the lulz. And end up dying to this Shard Shrike. Self-disto, for sure. Well, there are certain vaults where sort of borderline glitchy things can happen, where you basically need to disto yourself, or you lose. It's very rare, but it can happen. I want to drop here. Oh, we can drop Lignify. Another enchant armor. Almost have fully enchanted crystal plate. What a good feeling. Helm of Sea Invisible. So we could swap the amulet now and not feel bad about it. Having Senv all the time. Even without the amulet. Put the other helmet back on, this one looks dumb. I mean, technically I probably should be wearing the +1 intelligence over the Synv since I've already got Synv, but you know, I kind of want to look like I'm wearing a Devo hat, so vetoed. Into Zot we go. Kind of looks like I have a little ziggurat on my head, actually. Fashion crawler. That's right. No, the real reason is that there's a very small chance I'll be replacing out the Synv amulet. In fact, actually, there's a guaranteed chance I'll replace it out at least some of the time for minus Telly on Zot 5. You have to beat the 27th floor if you want a Ziggurat figurine. You could also go and beat Tomb, and you get a Ziggurat figurine for that. Weirdo who plays ASCII. ASCII's overrated. I'm going to dive. This character's really, really strong. If I were to die on the orb run on this character, I'd eat my hat. It's just not going to happen. Magic mapping? Oh, I should be magic mapping, shouldn't I? I would eat my very ugly hat. Actually, the tastiness of hats is inversely proportional to how beautiful they are. These are 3 beefcake ghosts. Just going to melee them down. Actually, we're going to dig. My God, they're so tanky. So I mirrored one of them. It's kind of cool, I guess. He's doing work. Chewing at him from both sides here. Three super tank ghosts. They finally go down. Went through all that just to get a single enchant armor, so boom! Fully enchanted crystal plate armor of cold resist. That is outrageous, not something you see often at all. Hey Fames, how you doing, man? Don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. Lamp these dudes. I got lamp back almost immediately because the ghosts are... Hey, Alf, thanks for the sub, man. He's still going strong. 41 subs total. The chat Illuminati. When will the government stop his sinful hand? This is quite a pack of draconians. Still diving a bit. Safest thing is typically to clear, but we really don't need to. Not on this character. I am going to clear out these annoying jailed draconians, though. Positioning's getting all kinds of messed up from the shifters or whatever. I'd like to reiterate that this vault was designed long before Gamma Funk nerfed the availability of digging, so like there's way less dig charges, and yet you still have to deal with this stupid vault. Oh my god. Look at this crap. Going down. Okay, situation seems to have gotten under control now. Why don't I drink a heal wounds to get this rot off? Don't forget minus telly. I forgot minus telly. Good point. Alright, I don't need to clear these guys, obnoxious as it is. I can't see it from the staircase, so I'm okay with that. Let's pop on minus telly, as Mr. Alstrom suggests. I took a bit of a risk coming down here without it on, but at the same time, I mean, this character could handle it if he got ported to the lungs, so it's not a huge deal. However, I should probably stop tabbing like a madman because, well, number one, I'm not actually resistant to poison, so that could add up in a really dumb way. More importantly, there are clowns on this floor. We'd rather not get clowned. There they are. Toteri's pointing out. Yes, 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 those ones. Those exact clowns. I am going to exclude this off just for the moment. I want to clear out the outside of this thing. Okay, we've done that now. I see we have sort of an obnoxious dispersal merry-go-round. There's a net trap blocking the left, which is not a big deal. There's no traps blocking the right. Yeah, Zot5 always has lungs, Mr. Alstrom. That's a hard set feature. Very empty right lung. Okay, I'm going to not use a haste. I am going to use an agility. Get out of this net. I'm going to use a might. We'll just swing on this guy.
Malkle for HOGl, you'll float too.
You'll float too. No! I know what you're doing. They all float down here, I'm told. It's not making me any less displeased with the clown situation in my life. Oh geez, could this possibly be a Crystal Spear Lich? You know what? I don't want to get Crystal Speared. We are going to... We have enough heal wounds that I feel okay with silencing. Just because I didn't want to get double... I didn't want to get the old double Crystal Spear from the Hasted Ancient Lich. That could be like... Oh, 288 damage. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Anti-Magic Broadaxe. Crying in your back. It's too late. I'm on a path of death and destruction. We can't stop to anti-magic things. You're right though, I should have enchanted that up. Oh god. Bye. Wow, nice nice trap. Yeah, no, we didn't find any chopping axes. We found anti-magic, which I probably should be using against these liches, but I can't be bothered. If they happen to be LCS liches, I will I'll get clever, I promise. I'll do something about it, but they haven't been so far. Alright, time to get clever. Use the horn. I'll use a beast box. One of these might be LCS. That's Iron Shot. Okay, neither are LCS, although Iron Shot alone can be brutal. The Box Beast will make short work of these guys with me. Yeah, I didn't pick up the orb yet. I just ran away because I wanted to collect myself a little bit. Why did I tele without picking up the orb? Because I want to clear the whole floor. Horn time. Beast time. Actually, SaC time. Why use an anti-magic axe when I can use an anti-magic ghost moth? The max stats for box beasts are outrageous. You know what? Let's see if I can look it up. Primal Shock Sting Beast. Primal Beast? Huh. Doesn't want to let me look it up, but basically they're just outrageously strong. I can see from the sort of limited in-game screen that it's 147 hit points, which is, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have to type Eldritch Beast? Box of Beasts. Mutant Beast. Primal Mutant Beast. There we go. That's how you look it up. So this just defaults to the Weird Bat. But I mean, you're looking at 3d54 damage from the Fire Breath on the ones that get the Fire Breath. And then they do melee of... Well, this one does up to 40 damage and then 25 on its second attack. So they're pretty damn beefy, let's put it that way. I mean, they can go toe-to-toe with an Orb of Fire. So having evocations is good. It's no joke. I have been known to, in extended, just like spam boxes of beasts. Wow. The Killer Clown just distoed me. So he's gonna get the old Ice Blast surprise. I'm gonna read Telly so I don't teleport. God damn it. A clown with disto. How stupid. Okay, he's dead. That was not my least annoying moment. Does anyone actually like the clown changes? No. I've never met anybody who thinks it's a good idea except for like Gamma Funk and then the other devs who, you know, will basically never say anything bad about Dear Leader, you know? Okay, we take the portal. But yeah, I mean, the clown changes are just stupid. I would be okay with the clown pie itself if the abilities that... If the things that it did were not quite so outrageous. Wow, that is an enchant armor I left behind. We're on the orb run now though, so... Also, I am mutated all the hell. How about we fix that? We don't want teleportitis on the orb run. There we go. Put my helmet back on. It dropped off because I got horns at some point. Now to collect the runes. Hey, people do that. That's the greater orb run or whatever. I'd be happy to do that run if people wanted to see it and properly bribed me for such. You can make it happen. You kind of need a particular setup for it, but it's a fun thing to do. You just collect every single rune while you're on the orb run. Except for 3. Haven't reached them since the change. I mean, when they were first put in, I just didn't play Crawl for a really long time because I knew it was just a whole new era of stupid things being added to the game. Haven't even played since the trap changes. Yeah, that was probably a good time to stop as well, Totery. There is a reason why I'm working on this fork of mine, to basically take those things out and to do some development that constitutes actual development, you know, and not just whatever random thing the head dev wants to put into the game. Wow, this was a very lazy orb run. There were no panlords. There wasn't even a seraph. We just kind of strolled out. Perma-haste? No. No, we didn't have haste on the orb run. We just didn't see anything. Literally no challenges. I mean, that has nothing to do with the deep dwarf, you know. Like, I could have been any species and I just didn't find anything. Sometimes sometimes the RNG just works in your favor like that, you know, where you'll do the orb run and nobody's you know, nobody's around. GG, guys. So if I were to, whoops, if I were to look at my streak now and compare it to Elliptic Streak, won our last 20 games, blah, 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 blah. Well, the last one was a DDAs, so we find that on the Elliptic Streak. And it's in the middle here somewhere. Yeah, DDAs right there. Next one is the Formicid Scald. Yeah, I'm probably not going to continue, Mr. Ostrom. It's getting kind of late. But I will start the Scald. This is the run that I have been sort of terrified of for several games because I knew it was coming. It's game number 21. We may very well lose the streak on this run if it goes badly. I mean, it's just an extremely bad start. You know, I'll play it as best I can, of course, but the game might decide to just end my life, you know, in this man's whole career. So we have some choices, and I actually looked over these weapons already just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And the long story short is that short sword and spear are the ones with the highest accuracy. Accuracy is really damn important. Short sword and spear actually have pretty much the same stats. So we go for the spear because that gives us an extra attack, essentially, against things. Now, the start is already absolute bullshit. I say this because it is crystal walls, which I can't dig through. So we're already in for just a hell of a time. So I'll just put pole arms on. Pray for something like a D1 shield. That'd be ideal. So yeah, Scald is just a really bizarre, obnoxious, and bad start. We've got Infusion to start out with. You start with 3 mana. You cast it, that takes 1 of the mana away. And then when you swing, if you hit, it takes some mana away, and you do a little bit of extra damage, minimum 1. So it's not a very good first level spell. Later we'll get Shroud of Galubria, which will, well, it'll block about half of adder attacks, so we'll probably be using that pretty ubiquitously in like every single fight for the first little while. And we'll probably, because we just really need help, you know, ordinarily I would try to abuse this stealth aptitude, right? On account of being a Formicid with a high aptitude, but this character needs such help in actual combat. I think we just train pole arms, man. I mean, just to attack faster. what are my magic apps? Formicid magic apps are actually really good. So if I were to look at them, they're all 0, except for translocations, which is -1, and transmutations, which is +1, hex is +2, conjuration is -1, everything else is 0, and earth is +2, poison is +3. So essentially everything's great, except for conjurations and translocations. So you can make a Formicid into a pretty good caster if you want to. Yeah, having a point in stealth definitely helps. If this was like a character that could survive on D1, you know, without extra help, or D2 without extra help really easily, I would train stealth up to like 5 because it's just free. Statue form online. Yeah, I mean I could go statue form, but that's not even on my mind, man. Surviving D1 through D3 is going to be the tough sell on this character. So I'll probably you know, I'll probably stream again tomorrow, and we'll see exactly how this goes. Hopefully not badly. These crystal walls don't bode well, though. The fact that I can't dig is not a lot of fun. So hopefully we get out of this starter vault without too much trouble. Anyway, thank you to everybody who came by the stream, especially you, Elf. I definitely appreciate the generosity, man. It's very cool. Also, I'm sure the people that you gifted the subs to appreciate it as well, so definitely awesome. DDAs was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope we have a really good stream tomorrow as well, because this FoSk is going to be interesting. Anyway, until next time, I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.